Too many people think they fucking know me. Might charge you double when I cop a OZ. Might pop a oxy and I'll fucking OD. Tony.
Sir.
And we're back. It's Around the Corner. I'm one of your hosts, Ethan Doors, at your mom's favorite son.
I'm another two of your hosts, Z-Dad.
And as you can see, we don't have a fucking guest today.
Our guest today is alcohol.
Our guest today is sadness and disappointment.
And depression, so.
But, yeah, so we couldn't get a guest today. So, more people hit us up, please.
Or don't, because I don't give a fuck. No, I'm joking.
No, seriously, hit us up. Around the Corner at gmail.com, at Around the Corner on Instagram, at Around the Corner on fucking Facebook, at Around the Corner on motherfucking Twitter. Hit us up.
So what have you been up to, Ethan?
Not shit. I just got a new job.
Yeah?
McLean's coffee shop in Overland Park, Kansas.
Shout out, McLean. What do you do? Do you just sit there and make coffee, or do you just handle cash register type stuff?
All the above.
Yeah.
It depends on the day, though. I mean, because I worked at Sonic for fucking 5 years, it's the easiest job ever.
Really?
Dude, so easy. Because it's literally just, instead of 230 something fucking menu items, we have like 30, and we have a breakfast and a lunch. So it's actually like 15.
Well, there you go.
Dude, it's tight.
How many people is honestly ordering coffee later on in the afternoon? Are there a lot of people?
Bro, you have no... Dude, it's fucking busy. Like, what Sonic would consider, like, all right, it's constant all day.
What the fuck?
Constant.
Why?
Because it's the longest or the oldest coffee shop, bakery coffee shop in Kansas City. They've been running since like 1943 or something like that.
But who's sitting there at like 1 o'clock after their lunch, like I fucking need another coffee?
More people than you know. I mean, I drink a shit ton of caffeine a day. But what about you, dude? What have you been doing?
Working, watching these UFC fights. I'm excited for this. What's his name? Cody Garbrandt fight.
When is that?
It's this Saturday. It's not on a pay-per-view.
Oh, it's one of the fight nights. One of the ESPN Plus fight nights. Did you watch the last one?
That one was... I watched the last two fights, and I saw Tony Ferguson just completely...
that was so sad.
Dragged along the octagon.
Beneil Dariush.
It was sad. It was boring. I liked when Dana was like, yeah, he didn't gain any new fans for sure.
True. Fucking everyone was like, Tony.
Dude, yeah, they just booed fucking other guy.
Dude, that was sick.
But who was the main card? What was it?
Michael Chandler versus motherfucking...
That was a crazy fight. I thought Chandler had him in the first round.
He had him rocked.
Literally, I wouldn't have been mad. I wouldn't have been mad if the ref stopped it when Oliveira was just sitting there flailing on the ground.
But then he's so dominant on the ground that you have to give him the benefit of the doubt that he's trying to figure out positioning. Mm-hmm. That's what they always do, especially for jiu-jitsu specialists.
Yeah. It was a crazy fight. I wouldn't mind seeing another. I wouldn't mind seeing a rematch.
Speaking of which side are you on? Israel or Palestine?
Dude, I have no idea about anything that's going on. I don't watch the news, and I don't have social media, so I fucking barely knew about COVID when it first came out, to be completely honest.
Oh, because all you do is fucking just work.
All I do is just jerk off and work, yeah.
That's the life.
That's the life, yeah.
See, I do the same thing, but then I'm also on my phone way too fucking much, dude.
I mean, I try to stay off my phone as much as possible, just because I know it's a habit. I started picking up books just because I've had a lot of downtime.
Because you never did before.
Exactly, and I was always forced to read books, and it was never a fun time. The first book that I actually enjoyed that was from high school, or from like a forced reading program type thing, was To Kill a Mockingbird. That was a good book that I actually I read ahead even, and I just I gotta finish this book. I couldn't put it down, actually. Yeah. It was nice.
That's funny. Because I don't know, as a special kid, what was that? Gifted kid.
Gifted.
So I learned to read when I was like...
So just autistic, like...
Probably.
Specialize
probably.
In one thing.
See, that's what everyone says. They're like, are you are you on the spectrum? I'm like, see, I was never rich enough to figure that out, to do those tests, but
Yeah.
I was always in the gifted program,
Dude,
and
sometimes
literally nothing's been hard.
Yeah.
Like, people are like, dude, what? Like, learning calculus is hard. I'm like, there's rules. You follow the rules, you get the fucking answer. It's not that
math
hard.
Math was probably my best subject in school growing up, just because it was literally just, just straightforward. I mean, yeah, you started getting to imaginary numbers and that shit. It didn't throw me off, but it was definitely just a new thing. But there was still a set of rules, like you said, where you just put in the equation and it works itself out.
Yeah, exactly. You fucking solve for X.
Yeah.
You put in the numbers they give you, you solve for X. That's all high school math ever is. You fucking nitwits. You fucking do all the fucking bullshit. You put the algorithm in. You get the fucking number. It's not that fucking hard. Why do people think it's so fucking hard? English is so hard. You know why? Because you have to fucking put words to it. And words can have multiple meanings, and the meanings fucking matter. And the secondary meaning fucking matters, and all that stupid bullshit. Which also doesn't fucking matter.
Dude, I thought Spanish class was hard until I got into English class. Because then I was like, what the fuck is going on, dude?
Yeah, dude, why do I have to care about the fucking... if the preposition came before the verb or after the verb, and that the author actually meant to do that, and that it means this instead of that because of fucking AP bullshit. That's not fucking true. No one's fucking like, this shit's purple because I was a little sad, but in love at the time.
Dude, I feel like as long as I got my yours straight, I fucking passed English class. I don't give a hoot.
Yeah, but honestly, I do want to go back to college just because it's... my sister's fucking going to Johns Hopkins.
Do you know how easy it is to steal education? I mean, I never took you up on this, but
dude,
back in the day, Ethan would go to college, and I would tell him to wake me up, let me know when you go to your classes, because I'll just tag along. Like, his classes were so big, no one's gonna ever say anything.
There was literally 5 classes that were in lecture halls of over 100 people. My chemistry class was 300 and something people. If you showed up even on like 2 minutes before the bell, you have to sit in the fucking back section because there is so many fucking people. If you were 15 minutes early, you still would sometimes have to sit in the middle. I was like, God fucking damn it.
There you go. So if you want free education at KU,
have a friend that goes to KU and is in those fucking lectures, and you can definitely just bring a backpack and a laptop, and fucking no one will say a goddamn thing. I guarantee it.
Dude, for sure. I might come back to it.
Dude, when Miranda's in Johns Hopkins, I'm gonna be like, just one time, just go for a week.
Yeah.
Well, it's like a school week, and just fucking go to every single one of her classes that you can go to. Because there were some classes that, like, I was in a group that if you would have went, it would have been like, he's tagging along.
Yeah.
Because in one of my what class? One of the engineering classes, it was like a group project on how to make some product better, and like we got how to make a hairdryer quieter. Spoiler alert, you can't. They tried that.
Spoiler alert, who fucking cares?
It would be quieter already.
I mean, like, what's the point?
The hairdryer's been around because it's loud as shit, you know?
I mean, but who's trying to sit here and be like, oh,
see, but that's it. It was more of like a problem solving. Like,
yeah, well, I mean, but I'm saying who has that problem?
I don't know. People who in studio apartments when they wake up at 5 a.m, but then their partner has to go to work at like 6 p.m.
Yeah, just get a better partner. That's my okay, but tell me
well,
about
you
this.
can't judge people's lives, bro.
I 100% can, and I will. Second off, tell me about this Palestine and Israel shit.
Oh, see, I don't even
fucking idea.
See, I barely even know about it. I just know that like in Palestine, Israel, like back in the day, like way back in the day, Palestine was way bigger than Israel and was doing the exact same shit that Israel's doing to them now.
Which is?
Just being, racist or religious. What even is that? When it's literally you're the same person, you're in the same family. It's just you're Jewish, they're Islamic, You literally live in the same city. It's just this part's Palestine, this part's Israel. So like last week or whatever, they like a mosque was getting bombed and there was only like women and children in the mosque.
Whose side
in
bombed?
Palestine, because
So
Israel is a Jewish state.
Okay.
So it's always whenever someone says Israel, it's literally just Jewish versus Islamic, which is the Palestine side.
Okay.
For the most part. Of course, there's also the Islamic people that are part of Israel, but for the most part, anyway, they're Jewish. So they like the Jewish government, the Israeli government was like bombing and like tear gassing a mosque, which was like the holiest. It was like one of the holiest mosques in that city, and like on the other side of the wall, there was all these fucking Israelites that were fucking going crazy because the fucking the mosque ended up catching on fire, and it's one of the oldest mosques in fucking that entire
There's
Middle
video
East.
of this?
Yeah, dude. I mean, whatever. I don't know how to send you the video, but I can definitely send you the video. Dude, it's crazy.
Send me the video later because I want to see that.
But dude, it's and like, so it's just like
I don't want to see
the
that.
Israeli government is just like trying to push Palestine out, even though Palestine doesn't have anywhere to go. So
I hear a bunch of stuff is like, oh, there's this territory where both sides government says they have rights over, but I mean, how can you determine that without the UN's consent? But then again, I hear they don't give a fuck about the UN's consent over what they say. So that's about the extent that I know about it.
And what's really fucked up is that like we've always been like super good allies to Israel, right? Because in World War II, back in the day when Palestine was more prevalent, we were like Israel was the fucking Christianity all bullshit, so we like them and we want to make them more strong. And then they became really strong, and now they're super strong in the region. And we're like, but we're with them to the very end, and now they're doing fucked up shit, but we're like, we like Israel, so like, sorry,
not sorry.
But
should have chose a better side.
I know, I wish I knew more. It's something about the Gaza Strip and all this shit.
Something about not knowing all of it kind of makes me happier.
Also, not knowing the bullshit is
ignorance
better.
Is bliss, but ignorance is definitely a choice with today's access to the internet. It's definitely a choice, but it's still bliss.
Exactly. Dude, how's the fucking cryptos going? How's all your stocks going?
Crypto. It's just took a big hit, so we're recording, what's today? May 20th. It took a big hit yesterday, but I don't have no idea what that's from, but we're bouncing back. Dogecoin dropped down to at its lowest point yesterday in the morning. I was at the gym. I was steady watching it, and it dipped right at 27 cents, shot back up to 42. So I mean, I'm not concerned about it. I feel like with Elon's backing of Dogecoin, it's never gonna dip down below a penny. I know for a fact. You'll be lucky
never.
if it dips below 20 cents.
Yeah.
And if it does, like, I would recommend to definitely buy into that because it's
if it goes under 30 cents ever again.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, as soon as it hit 26, it jumped immediately back up to 35. Then eventually, built its way back up to 42. I think is what it's at right now. But
it's at 40 right now.
Yeah, it fluctuates. So I mean, that's what I'm saying. But the thing about cryptocurrency, and it's different from the your stocks that you buy, is normally, let's say you want to
you kind of bank on the volatility.
Well, yeah, exactly. But not only that, when you have under $25,000 invested in any stock trading, or even just invested, I'm an idiot. So just let me throw that out there.
As far as Robinhood says.
As far as, well,
from that one notification that I get every so often.
Well, I think it's just the FDIC or whatever the fuck. Like, if you make more than 3 day trades in a week, you will get banned from day trading for a month or so, whatever it may be. But with crypto, you can day trade, meaning you can buy sell as many times as you want within a day. Like
as the market literally fluctuates in time.
So you can literally sit there and be like, oh, I see this dip coming, let me buy this dip, and then it shoots up, and then you just sell that, and then it's gonna dip again, because everything just goes up and down. But you might lose out on some money, you might gain some money. But that's the thing about crypto, is there's no rules, there's no limitations on that. So crypto's the thing to do. I feel like if you're just trying to be a day trader with a limited amount of money, that's kind of where you start, is crypto for sure.
Do you just use Robinhood?
I use crypto.com. It's a newer app, and it's overseas, so a lot of bank accounts, you have to go through this, a lot of vetting to actually be able to link your credit card, or not credit card, but debit card to the account. But you can just go buy a Visa card from Walmart, and I think it works the same.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
Crypto.com. I'm waiting for Coinbase to accept Doge, and and that's gonna come in 2 weeks. No. 3 weeks. 3 weeks to a month. I think it should be on Coinbase, because they announced it, and I think they're trying to reduce some of that risk.
Coinbase's stock is fucking doing dog shit right now. I bought it when it just came out, so it's like I bought it at like $300 some, and then it instantly dropped to like $210, and I'm like, but I believe in it, so I know it's gonna explode eventually. Because
Dude, Tesla right now is it dipped pretty hard ever since Elon's SNL skit, but dipped pretty hard from 640. I think it's at 570. Oof. Pretty good time, I feel like, to buy some Tesla stock.
I mean, Tesla's not gonna. It's definitely not gonna go anywhere. You know, it's
just a long term. I mean, but the thing about Tesla, I mean, if you just have money to throw around, like, Tesla's dividends are always good. That's a good thing. Dividends are quarterly payouts that they give you per share. So let's say I own 4 shares of Colgate stock. That means every 3 months they're going to give you, let's say, $2 per share of Colgate stock that you own. So a lot of people will just sit there and make their money off dividends.
Just because they have fucking hundreds of millions of dollars in the
have money invested, and they know which blue chip stocks to sit there and will pay the fattest dividends.
The S&P 500, right?
I don't know. I mean, there's a bunch of different trades on it. There's the Dow, S&P 500, and like I said, I'm a fucking idiot. So
do you buy into any of those like you invest in them and they take your money and like move shit for you?
No, but I know somebody who does that, and they say they do pretty good. I just feel like I'd much rather
because there's some of those on Robinhood. Like, there's like 4 or 5 of them. I don't remember what they're called. I forget what they're called.
Well, there's ETFs where it's like a bunch of stocks in one stock, so to speak, where like, oh well, we're just basing like Gush and Drip, which is inverse ETFs, and they deal with oil, but they deal with oil prices, and they fluctuate based on that. So let's say oil's doing really well, that means Gush is going to go up and Drip's going to go down. That's what inverse ETF means, is like they're literally the opposite of each other. So you can sit there, let's say you have that $25,000 invested, and you can sit there and day trade all day. You can flip between back and forth between those two, depending on how they're trading, and you can make.
How is that money. Fucking legal? How is that fuck? If you just literally sit on a laptop and you have enough money, you can literally always have money.
No, for real. That's the thing.
Like, infinite money.
That's the thing I'm trying to be on, is that I'm gonna make my money work as hard as I work for.
See, that's,
you know?
I'm trying to do that, but I'm so early in the fucking game.
And I feel like I'm early, and I've been looking. So
at the stock market. You have racks in there.
Decent money, but it doesn't matter. Doesn't matter.
I mean, when I started, I didn't have a job, so I was going off of stimulus money. Stimmy. I need that fifth stimmy.
Give me that
if it ever comes, dude.
There was a statistic, or whatever you want to call it, a report that I saw on Robinhood that was saying that if you invested your first stimulus check into Dogecoin, you would have made $100,000 off of that.
No fucking way.
Yeah.
No.
Today that would be worth
way.
$100,000.
I'm looking that shit up.
I swear to God.
Okay, so
because the thing is, Dogecoin was, well, I mean, back in March 2019, Dogecoin was at 0.001, if that, maybe. I mean, it had to be sitting at. I mean, it was below a penny for sure. Because I know right as the jump happened was the beginning of this year or end of last year, let's say.
Jesus.
Because that's right when GameStop hit, and everything was a joke, right? So the thing about crypto is it's so hype based. Literally,
Hella.
everything is word of mouth. Like, how many people know about this stock?
Remember Ripple?
Not at all. That's the thing. I don't know about
Dude,
it.
I remember Ripple was at like 4 or 5 cents, and then it bumped to like 7 cents, and I was like, ooh.
Mm-hmm.
And like everyone was like, this was like the first Bitcoin explosion, like 2016, 2017, whatever year that was.
Yeah.
And like I was like, ooh, I'm getting into crypto, blah blah blah.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like 6 or 7 cents, and then it like eventually skyrocketed to $1, and now it's at like $1.20 still.
Yeah, I mean, but
But
that's good.
That's crypto.
But the thing I'm saying about the hype base is, everyone's talking about, oh, Doge is gonna plummet. Doge is gonna go back to what it was. Doge is never gonna go back to under a cent. There's no fucking way, because the thing about Doge is, like I said about all cryptocurrencies, is all hype based.
It was at 0.002.
Yeah, 002. Okay, fair
so
enough.
let's see here.
Let's see those math
002.
skills. So it'd be
1,200 divided by.
Well, this was in the hype of Doge. So let's say put it at 60 cents.
I'm seeing how many Dogecoin you would buy.
Oh, okay. For
1,200.
Yeah.
So 1,200 divided by.
No, it'd be
0.02.
Right. Oh no, divided by fair. My bad.
You would have bought
Bad at math.
600,000 Doge.
And then multiply that by the.
40 cents.
Okay, let's say 40 cents for now.
Well, that's what it's at right now.
Yeah.
At this
let's
very
say at
second.
this very second.
$240,000. $240,000. If you would have.
You guys are fucking idiots.
We're
dude.
all fucking idiots.
So dumb, dude.
We're
Get in the
so
stock market.
stupid.
No, the thing about COVID hitting is the stock market plummeted, and that's when I first got into the stock market. As soon as COVID started hitting, like, I had a buddy who was telling me, like, yo, like, everything's at a discounted price now. Like,
well, that's
now's
also
the time
because
to invest, and this was even before the stimulus check, and then as soon as the stimulus check came, everything started blowing up.
Was that also because there was nothing else to fucking pay attention to? Like, the stock market was the only thing that was still going on at the time, probably?
Fair enough. I mean, I was, at that point in time, I had a little bit extra cash, so I was just kind of looking for another way to make money. And yeah, there was nothing else to spend my money on, but not that I'm even looking for the next thing to buy or whatever. But yeah, stock market was kind of the thing that piqued my interest, and I started doing a bunch of research. Not a bunch, but researching a bunch of stuff that I was invested in. So I recommend it. Yeah, dude. So go Palestine, or fucking
Free Palestine.
Free Palestine. I don't know.
Free TK.
Israel Adesanya. I'm a big fan.
Ooh, I wonder if is that gonna be a thing? Is like people are gonna be like Israel? Blah, blah, blah.
Let's see what the next UFC event does, and we'll see what if he says anything about it, just because of his name. But
dude, are you hyped for the Cornr fight? Cornr Dustin Poirier.
I feel like it's gonna be the same result. I think Dustin's gonna win. But I'm happy that Dustin took that fight. I feel like
shit. When's the McGregor fucking Paul fight?
That's not a thing. Is it a thing?
Or not Conor McGregor? Fucking Mayweather.
Dude, I don't know. I don't pay attention to it because I don't like to buy into that.
Mayweather
bullshit.
versus Logan Paul.
I mean, that was
June 6th.
Okay. Well, that'll be very boring. Honestly, it's gonna be super boring. I didn't watch the last Paul fight.
The Nate Robinson Jake Paul fight.
I heard about it, but I didn't watch it. It wasn't.
You haven't seen the knockout?
Of course I saw the
okay.
knockout, but
He's still asleep to this day. Did you know that?
No.
He's still at the MGM Grand. Like,
Just still passed out and laying on his millions of dollars that he wanted to make. That he didn't give a fuck about the whole fight to make.
Dude, why Nate Robinson? Why? Just why?
No. Not Nate. It was Askren, wasn't it?
Oh, you're right.
What are you talking about?
I was talking about Nate Robinson.
I did not watch that. I didn't even see the knockout on the Nate Robinson fight because I was like,
that one was sad.
Well, I was like,
he was dead. He's still asleep to this day.
I hate it. No, it's just like, what's the point of watching that fight? Because you're okay. I can fucking beat up some fucking tennis table player, dude.
It's a basketball player who's one of like everyone's like the NBA is with some of the most athletic people in the world, and then Jake Paul's like, I was on the Disney Channel.
Yeah.
I had a Disney show.
Yeah, I mean, good for him. He built up a name for himself just fighting. Yeah, I don't feel like no way do I feel that basketball players are the most athletic.
No, it's more like he's like they're like NBA players are some of the most athletic people in the world.
Okay.
And Jake Paul's like, I'm a fucking dude from Ohio who got famous on YouTube, got his own Disney show. Mm-hmm. And now I fought some other YouTuber, and now I'm gonna fight one of the greatest athletes, like one of the greatest dunkers of all time, and knock his ass out in like 2 minutes. That's crazy.
I mean, but you can just.
I mean, also, how much more did he weigh?
I don't know anything about the weigh-ins, but I mean, what? I heard that the whatever his name is, the basketball player, did not take the fight seriously, and just like Ben Askren, like they're just like, whatever, I'm here to make money. Not Ben Askren more so than the basketball player, but I just felt like I heard that the basketball player went in with the mindset of, I don't need to train for this guy, and Jake Paul was just sitting there like, yeah, I'm gonna work for this. I'm gonna sit here and actually learn this sport. And yeah, once you have someone that's sitting there actually learning a sport, actually taking advantage of the position he's in with the money and getting together a fight camp, of course you're gonna come out with that outcome when someone's taking it seriously and someone's just like, yeah, I'm expecting this to just be a street fight. Like,
they have this shit in fucking stones. What the fuck is 13 stone 7 pounds?
What? What are we, cavemen?
I know. I was trying to figure out the weight difference, and I'm like, it says Jake Paul was 13 stone 7 pounds. And Nate Robinson was 12 stone 9 pounds.
Let me see. So that's about 213, 14, 15 pounds, I guess. Yeah, about 213 pounds. Just joking. I don't fucking know what stones weigh. What the fuck?
I know, that's so stupid. So it's 100. So he was Nate Robinson was 175, and then it was 13 stone. Oh my god. Yeah. Okay. So he was 175. Nate Robinson was 175 pounds, and then Jake Paul was like 190. So of course,
yeah,
of course he got fucking knocked the fuck out.
The only way I would pay attention to the Paul brothers, any fight or any promotion type thing they would have going on for them, is if they just fought each other.
That would be sick.
That would be kind of entertaining, just because I'm down for the feud, dog. Like I'm with that. Like that'd be the only way. And of course I'd feel like I'd be on Logan's side over Jake's side, because I just feel like he's just such a troll. And he's just gonna. I saw the thing that he got punched in the face by Floyd, and I saw the photo afterwards. I didn't even watch the video. I saw the video pop up, but it's just like, oh, it's so. It just looks so staged.
Yeah.
At the time, like, just like I didn't even know anything about the Logan and Mayweather fight. Leading up to that, I just saw them like looking at each other. I'm like, okay, it's kind of. Whatever.
You didn't
like,
know it was gonna.
Just
you didn't real?
Well, I saw the first announcement of it about a little bit less than a year ago. I saw the first announcement before
the like rumor that it was
a
possibility.
Wasn't even a rumor, because I saw Logan Paul on Food Truck Diaries with
Brendan
Schaub, and I saw him.
Brandon Snobs.
Yeah, and I saw him talking about it, and it was a real thing at the time, but it just kind of got swept under the rug, because obviously no one's going to be interested in that. But now that Jake Paul is building a name for himself, it's going to be interesting. Like, no, there's no fucking difference. Like, it's still just as uninteresting. Just now that the Paul brothers are coming up, being a household name now, that makes it relevant. Get out of here.
I mean, it is kind of cool though.
I don't think so.
What? You don't think it's cool? These normal ass fucking dudes just being like, we're ripped, we're fucking teenage heartthrob bullshit, whatever YouTube stars.
I don't find it cool. I mean, I get why other people find it cool, I guess, but
I think it's impressive as fuck.
Yeah, I respect their hustle, but I don't think it's gonna be anything worth watching. I mean,
Ben
listen,
Askren was a motherfucking champion for
in wrestling. He was an
in
Olympic
won championships in fucking Bellator.
Oh my god. Okay, then get
He
fucking.
was a champion for like. He had like 9 defenses in one championship.
Yes,
but also
yes.
he's
In
a
the
Khabib
UFC,
type. He's not a fucking.
He's gonna take you down. What are you really expecting, like, in a boxing match, a wrestler versus a guy that's literally been trying to put through a fight camp that he's paid money for? Like, what do you really expect the outcome to be?
I expected more from Ben Askren. Oh shit, ton more.
I think everyone expected more from Ben Askren, but I think Ben Askren was also like, I'm getting paid more than I've ever gotten paid for a fight. I don't give a fuck about this.
True.
This does not matter to me. Like, all that matters to me is the money I'm making after this, because this is a guarantee.
Did you see the way he like walked out and everything? Like afterwards,
Wasn't he laughing or something?
yeah, he was like
He's
hugging his wife and like fucking
Yeah, he
like
doesn't give a
smile on
fuck.
his face the entire time. It's like, baby, we made a fucking $1 million
Yeah,
off of
he
me
does.
getting knocked out in 57 seconds. Or
Zero
something like
fucks given about that fight, and I respect it. Look, you want to go get your money that way, then go do it. But it's not gonna build a legacy by any means. Like,
Exactly.
sitting here, Mayweather cherry picking his fights from 2016, 17 on, like, and even before then, I'm
But
not
he
a huge
still
boxing fan.
he
like,
still ended up fighting the biggest fighters though. Like it would take like 3 more years than people actually wanted it to happen.
who? What, Pacquiao? Like
Pacquiao, he fought Canelo.
Okay, yeah, but Canelo,
He
let
fought
him
Billy
fight-
Joe Saunders.
Let him fight Canelo now, though, because I would love to see it.
He probably would get knocked out in the
No,
fifth
I would
round.
love to. I would honestly. I think that's the fight that everyone wants to see. But I mean, Mayweather's out of his. Not. I mean, you can't say he's out of his prime when he hasn't lost a fight, but you can definitely see. I mean, from when he picked Conor McGregor. I mean, not picked, but when that fight happened, like, okay, like you're obviously being more aggressive than you are in your recent boxing matches, but it's against a guy who's used to using his legs and his jiu-jitsu. Not even that Conor's a great jiu-jitsu artist, but
The fact that you can get taken down.
Yeah, exactly.
versus Floyd, who's never gotten even like kicked in the shin, probably.
who's got beard implants.
Who literally can wear shoes while he's boxing. Literally wears shoes while he's boxing. He does have shin implants.
Have you? That's how the chin implants.
The
Dude.
calf implants, whatever.
Yeah. No, dude, I'm saying chin.
Oh, chin. I thought he said shin. I'm
he's,
like,
he's beard implants. Have you ever seen that man with the beard? Until now.
he's probably always been like clean shaven, and like his dad's probably been like, God, fucking give a shit. I don't know.
Yeah, dude, I believe that as much as I believe he's read a book.
That man's stupid as hell. That man's dumb as hell. It's crazy though. Do you see? Remember when that one dude was like, "If I was 30 years younger, I'd kick your ass."
Mm-mm.
It's like, dude, if he was 50 years younger, he would still get his ass kicked.
I saw a picture of, and I don't even know how real it is. I just saw it on Facebook at one point. It was Mike Tyson at age 13 and Muhammad Ali at age 12. And Muhammad Ali just looks like the scrawniest guy ever. And Mike Tyson, I mean, looks a little bit smaller than he does now.
Yeah, dude.
The guy was, like, bred to be the animal he is. Like, it's, you want to talk about a programming a child, like, hypnosis on a kid. Like, that guy was just bred to be an animal.
And he was boxing like grown men when he was 14 years old.
Oh, yeah.
Like with Castanado or whatever his fucking name was.
Mm-hmm.
Custamato.
Just a fucking man of a man at the youngest of age.
You heard the Rogan podcast with him, the first one, right?
Which one?
The stupid ass. With one. The one where he talks about like starting the farm, the fucking Tyson weed farm that he has now.
No, but I know about the weed farm. I've heard about it at least.
But he was like talking about how like he had to like hide from fucking crackheads in like the alleyways and like hide in the walls of fucking like the ghettos of like random places. And he was like he took acid and shit when he was like 13.
Really?
Yeah.
When was your first time taking acid?
Hippo House or no? Reserves.
Reserves. How old were you?
18.
18.
18 with the little squiggly line to be like approximately. It was either 17 or 18. I don't remember whenever the Hippo or the Reserves apartment started.
I guess it's as cool as you wanted to make it, you know.
I mean, the apartments were shit. The apartments were dog shit.
It was a good group there. We had me, Steven, Raven, and Chris. I mean, we had a pretty. Even still to this day, we're pretty good close friends. So it definitely formed something in my life. But as far as the events that
transpired,
on in that apartment, like that was. I guess a lot of learning. I learned a lot.
True.
Learned
a lot of learning.
It's probably the most I've learned in a year, for sure. Because I just felt like I was, once you're 17, you just graduated high school. You're like, I'm done. What are my parents gonna tell me? Especially my parents, like with whatever situation was going on at the time. I'm like, I don't give a fuck. Like, I'm gonna do my own thing. I'm gonna go out here. I'm gonna see the world for what it is, and what the world was at that point in time was not what I thought it was.
Nah.
As most kids come to realize, and it's you're gonna learn a bunch of experience, especially when you just throw yourself out there like that.
Yeah, dude. Once you have to like actually pay bills, and like there is no, I'll pay it next month, because they'll just bill you again next month. We definitely at the Hippo House paid like 4 months at a time, and then wouldn't pay for like 6 months, and then pay like 3 months. I don't know much about the
Hippo House, because I moved into that that situation a little bit later, but my reserve experience was, I was used to paying bills growing up. I paid certain bills around the house just to, my mom instilled that kind of thing in me, which was just that, you pay for a living. You gotta, like, this stuff costs money.
Yeah.
And this stuff, it just isn't just handed to you. Like, Netflix is $12 a month kind of thing, like.
At the time, it was $7.99. What's up,
Netflix?
Netflix?
Fucking day.
What's up, Netflix? What happened?
That's why I'm fucking YouTube TV all the way,
dude.
Bitch.
YouTube TV is the fucking way.
It's kind of honestly the way, and especially if I've tried to use ExpressVPN with YouTube TV to get other sports channels, but they always kind of find a way to block you out. But I feel like if you're able to make a different VPN work with YouTube TV to get those other sports and other cities, dude, why the fuck wouldn't you?
Dude, especially for like England, where the UFC is literally just on a different channel.
Really?
Yeah, like the pay-per-views are just on a different channel.
That's dope.
And we're back after the piss break. That was a great piss break.
Ethan just got banged.
He just got banged by a dude. But
because we blow on our food.
Because we blow on our food. But dude, what do you do for work? What do you actually do?
What do I do for work?
You do construction shit, but that's all I fucking know.
So, do a little bit of everything, honestly. I work for a company that my boss is licensed electrician, plumber, mechanical. So we and then
let me get that lighter.
And then on top of that, his brother is refrigeration. So we do literally everything. Like, we'll cut the concrete out and do your in-ground plumbing, and then we'll pour. Like, that's what I was just doing today. I was pouring concrete all day.
So is he just like a contractor, and he just gets random jobs?
We get a lot of commercial jobs. We do a lot of stuff for downtown Lawrence. It's pretty nice,
So you ever travel anywhere?
I've never traveled out of the country, but I've been to Vegas. Shout out Vegas. I love Vegas. Not because it's like,
you ever do blow in Vegas?
Nope. But so I have family out in Vegas, so I try to go every year, if not every other year. It's a really fun spot. I feel like even besides the Strip, like Vegas has so much more to offer than, of course, a Lawrence town.
It's like one of the top 7 biggest cities, probably top 10 biggest cities.
But you got to realize, even though it's a big city, like you have the Strip, and then it's just super impoverished after that. Like there's a lot of just like ghettos in there. Okay, so where my dad used to live, in the apartment complex, he was out. He was out doing something for a job, so he was overseas, and I was staying in his apartment at the time. And 2 buildings down from me, someone got shot and killed while I was just chilling by myself, and I didn't even know about it until I saw it on the news. You didn't even
know about it?
Until I saw it on the news, and my aunt was like, "Are you okay? Like, what's going on?" I'm like, "I'm just chilling, eating Domino's pizza, playing the game. What are you doing?"
You have your headset on?
Shot in the fucking head. Like,
no,
literally like 2 buildings away from me.
That's wild.
And ever since then, I noticed that it was weird going in and out of my dad's apartment. But
then he started to notice how ghetto it actually was.
I'm like, oh, okay. Yeah, but other than that, I mean, you just, the Strip is what it is. You have old downtown, but there is a lot of ghetto to Las Vegas, and a lot of people don't realize that. There's 4 high schools in the town.
That's it.
Yeah, I've had cousins go to. I've had cousins growing up in that neighborhood, and everyone still knows, pretty much knows each other. It's a small town, even though it is a big tourist site.
But they're all transient.
Yeah, exactly. What about you, man? Where have you been?
Hawaii once. That was pretty tight.
No way.
That was the fattest I've ever been to.
No way.
I was 272. Like I got on a scale like the week before. I was 272.
What are you now?
Like 198, 197, something like that.
And was there something, like, did you try to lose weight when you kind of dropped down?
Oh my god! I mean, I realized, I was like, holy fuck, Sonic's killed me, dude. Like, Sonic has fucked me up. I was like actually having like a fat beer belly and all this, like, in tits. Like, once I noticed, like, I was like, it's like a handful of tit.
Did
like,
you try to suck on them?
I could. No way. Dude, easily I could have sucked on my titties, bro. But, I mean, I didn't try. It's more like I just did. Mm-hmm. Sometimes,
Yeah, sometimes you just found its way in your mouth.
Yeah, sometimes you let it grow.
I was a big thumb sucker, so
exactly, it just happened. It's all because you like to suck on, like, your mother's titty back in the day,
Yeah, I don't think so.
You just like to suckle,
I just think it's because you blow on your food.
It's probably something like that. But fucking
So Hawaii.
But, I was fat.
How old were you?
I was 17,
Nice.
17, something like that. And it was, we went with my biological dad, who is not my dad.
Wait.
But,
okay,
so I have so he left when I was like 2, and then my mom had a kid with my dad, who's technically, they were never married. They're engaged now, which is a whole other hullabaloo. 13 years after they broke up, now they're fucking back together and engaged again. It's so wild. But fucking, like, they had a kid.
They were butt fucking?
They were butt fucking.
Oh, okay.
Somehow some jizz must have dripped down. However it works.
They're Mormons, so okay.
So, yeah. There's a semi-permeable membrane in there, to the uterus from the butthole. Uh-huh. However, but they had a butthole baby. That's my little sister.
Oh, I would have expected you, because I was gonna say, like, you look like you came out of a butthole, just the way you're like.
See, we were a C-section butthole baby.
Okay.
So we got taken out of the kidneys, actually.
Really? Okay.
It's a whole other process.
I'm not a surgeon. I gotta ask my.
You have to ask your guy.
Next time I get a dick in the microwave, but.
But we went with him and his new wife and her family, because they actually, like, once he got married or started getting married to her, it was like, hey, I want to meet your kids. I want to actually, like, try to be a stepmom, and you should actually try to be a dad potentially, all this shit. And, like, they would, like, give us gifts for fucking Christmas and birthdays and all that. And, like, he that's how, like, I even give a fuck about music at all, is because he was always in punk bands and, like, the Outhouse.
Oh yeah.
was used to be a venue back in the day, and he used to play there all the time. Like his band was one of the like main openers. They opened for Ice-T one time.
Was it strictly a venue or was it always a strip club?
No, it didn't turn into a strip club until like 2000 something.
Really?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
It was just
I never knew that.
and like fucking they have a documentary about it, and he fucking like we went to Warped Tour one year and like got backstage passes and all that shit to just like interview some random old ass punk dude who was like probably like some manager for some other band. Yeah. It was crazy. But
that's awesome.
We went to Hawaii, and like my stepmom's fucking dad, my step grandpa, however the fuck you want to say it, was like, I would get like Cokes and he would get Mai Tais, and he would just fucking grab my Coke and slide the Mai Tai closer to me, and I was like 17 years old, so I started getting slapped.
Was that your first time getting drunk? Was out there?
Nah. Oh God, no! Not the first time getting drunk. The first time getting drunk with like family members, besides my mom.
But your
my mom's cool as fuck.
Kind of did it under the table, or did
I mean,
your family know?
I mean, they definitely like saw like the first two, but like fucking, you know, like after a while, it was like she like kicked him and he's like, hey. Stop. Because I was getting slapped. I had like 6 of those motherfuckers.
He's drooling. Like, what are you doing?
I was just chilling. I was like, I need to slow down. Like, once I was like, oh, fuck, I've had like 5 of these hoes.
And a 17-year-old telling himself he needs to slow down is far too late.
I mean, by that point, it was long. It was a wrap on the partying and all
Game
that shit.
over, but yeah.
I had to slow down because I was like, I still got to be with family. We haven't even gotten food yet. I was ready to like pace it out over the time.
No, there's no doing that when you're 17 years old. It's like, I'm going to feel good, and I'm going to feel good right now, and that's it.
Right.
And then who cares what happens afterwards?
Yeah, whatever. Fuck it. I'll deal with the consequences afterwards.
What happens afterwards is what happens afterwards. Like, we don't talk about that.
Yeah, I'll wake up in a puke-soaked chair in different clothes, but still be drunk and not even remember it.
Dude, I drank so heavy back in the day. Like, back before I was 21. Like, that was when, like, being an alcoholic was kind of concerning for me.
What?
If you look at, like, how much I drank before I was 21... It was honestly, like, I look back at it and I'm like, yo, that was probably a problem.
You were like...
Looking back at it...
Is it, like, pre-alcoholism?
Looking back at it, like, I would just have access to it every day. And literally, I would get out of school, get out of football practice, and I would get just shit-faced with my girlfriend at the time. And then I would somehow miraculously show up at school the next day, but... What? I would repeat the same thing, and this was 6 days a week. Like, I would spend like one day a weekend with her, but then I would go back to my family. But it was literally, let me get as drunk as I can because I know I have to wake. Like, as soon as I get out of football practice, like, I only have this amount of time before I need to go to bed. So let me make sure I get super drunk, just to, I don't know. And it wasn't even like we were going out partying. Like, I would just chill at her house and I just get so drunk. I will never drink.
What was your drink?
Anything that was available to us. Heineken, fucking Jose Cuervo, vodka. I mean, UV, you name it. Like, it was.
UV was so good for a time.
It was a big thing back.
Dude, UV cherry, bro. UV cherry.
UV blue was my thing. I guess was a thing of choice for me. Like, UV blue. And this is why I can't do flavored vodka to this day. Like, there's no way I'm doing flavored vodka. It's going to give me a headache. There's too much sugar. But to this day, I refuse to drink Jose Cuervo. Jose Cuervo Gold. Like, I can't do that shit. Like, I have a disdain for tequila in general, but that one specifically, I threw up off of it, and it's... That it doesn't feel as good coming up, for sure, dude.
That day that I woke up in different clothes in a puke-soaked chair, I was like, it was a Captain Morgan spiced rum. Yeah. And even if I get a whiff of it from like across the room, I'm like, I gotta leave.
That was the move, though. Shout out Tristan Starr and Dominic.
See,
Leslie,
people used to love that shit. I got ruined too early. It was the summer before I turned 14, and just like in Oskaloosa, knowing knowing too old of kids, and then fucking like they were partying and just being like, I was skating. I was the only skater kid. It was like 8 p.m. on a Saturday, and it's just such a small town that like you would like if there was any noise at all, you'd be like, what the fuck's happening over there? So like these teenagers heard a skateboard and were like, what the fuck? Who's this kid? And they're like, oh, it's Ethan. Hey, you want to come party? And I was like, sure. And then like I've only had like 10 beers total in my life, like literally gotten drunk, or probably wasn't even considered drunk at the time, like one other time. And then fucking they were just like, here's all this booze, so me and my friend Andrew took not one of the like small bottles, but one of the big bottles, and we took the entire bottle in shots, pretty much, because we were just so young that we didn't even fucking know. We were just fucking back and forth throughout the fucking like hour and a half. And then of course I'm 80 pounds, fucking 6 foot tall, just fucking gangly kid, and then just fucking gone.
Yeah, that's tends to what happened when you're that young of age and you're drinking. I mean, I don't condone it, but it's just kind of what goes on, especially in when you're a part of a sports team, when you kind of have a tight-knit group of people that's more than just your friends. Like, you're going to start experiencing things outside of the norm of what you see.
You know, butt stuff.
Yeah, butt stuff. So
casual butt stuff.
Like, you'll take a couple shots and, yeah, of course, you'll pass out and wake up with your buddy just jerking you off. But, like, that shit just comes with the territory. Like, you know, why'd you pass out?
Yeah, you shouldn't have passed out with your pants off. Or your pants loose, you know? Oh, my God, dude. There's so many times waking up with you wake up and you're just like, walking home. Someone's like looking at you weird. You're like, what the fuck? And then you look down and you're like, oh shit, there's Sharpie everywhere.
Oh my gosh, dude. At the reserves, this is my second time taking Xanax, and I don't do Xanax anymore, but
we just want to make it very clear that we at Around the Corner only drink booze and smoke weed nowadays.
CBD. But
CBD weed.
CBD MD weed. But I don't know, like and it's not even that like I'm against taking Xanax. It's just that Xanax has become such a rare thing to come across that's actually scripted.
That's real.
Yeah, exactly. So it's I'm not going to take that shit unless I know for a fact that you're getting that shit script. And even then, it's like it's such a lower dose than what I was used to back in the day. I mean, I assume Xanax is going to be talked about like Quaaludes were once talked about.
Really?
I think so, honestly.
I don't think they're ever going to go away, though. I don't think, like, Xanax can go away because of how many fucking rich middle-aged housewives live on that shit.
But yes, but yeah.
Or like Valium. That's
gonna die out, dude. But
I didn't even know Valium was a drug. My mom was just like, oh, here's a Valium to like her friends, like randomly, like every so often, just be like, oh, I got a headache. It's like, oh, take a Valium. It's in my fucking purse, blah, 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 blah. And now, like, once I became like 17, 18, and it was like, bro, Xanax or Valium or hydrocodones or oxys or any of that shit. I'm like, wait. You say Valium? My mom gets those for a script.
Yeah.
What the fuck? Those are a drug? I could have been doing drugs for this long.
Dude, I remember when I got my wisdom teeth out, and my sister couldn't swallow pills. Like, she was such a non-pill swallower. Like, the doctors prescribed her liquid hydrocodone. And this is right when I was getting into a lot of trouble back at home. So I was like, oh, I'm gonna take that and I'm gonna sell that for sure. And I wasn't even like I've only done painkillers. I've only done hydrocodone like a handful of times, and my last time doing it, like I had a hard time breathing.
Whoa.
And I was looking up what is going on, and they were just talking about like, oh, don't fall asleep, otherwise you might like pass out.
Because your literal heart will just be too slow that
you'll
you'll
go into a coma and you'll die. Like, and that's what my mindset was, and I'm like, okay, I can't fall asleep, but I was getting so tired,
just sloshed.
And I remember like I would wake up taking deep breaths, and that was all night. And then I like, okay, this isn't for me, I guess. But it turns out I just wasn't taking a high enough dose. But
you weren't taking. So you were just freaking yourself out.
There's just too much Tylenol in it.
That's hilarious. When I got my wisdom teeth out, it was like they gave me hydros, and then like my stomach's always been fucking way too sensitive to any opiates. So
on
like,
an empty stomach, for sure, and that's especially what you're doing.
Even with food,
Really?
like I would eat an entire meal, take it at the end of the meal, 20 minutes later, throw up everything I just ate. So I was like, I did it twice with 2 hydros in a row. And then it was like I did a full one and then a half one, threw up both times. Then my mom's like, okay, we're taking you back to the doctor and seeing if we can get something else, because we can't just have you throwing up in your fucking, because I got all 4 out at the same time just to get it in one shot, you know. And then they're like, okay, we can give you oxys, and I was like, okay, cool. And then like took like a couple of those, puked up everything. They're like, we're just gonna give you really strong ibuprofen.
What were you like when you woke up off of your I'm assuming you went.
Yeah. I was foggy, but it was more just like,
did you say anything funny?
Nah. See, I asked my mom, and she's like, nah, you're just chilling.
Really?
Yeah.
I remember waking up, and I told the doctor, I was like, whatever that was, I need more of that.
No, that's sick.
And my mom was like, that's not funny, Zach.
Dude, when Bailey choked me out when I was coming back.
Choked you out? What do you mean?
So I taught her how to rear naked choke. So my dad did Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu back in like right before the Ultimate Fighter came out.
Okay, but let's be clear that it doesn't take much to learn how to rear naked choke.
No, but
yeah.
Okay, Bailey's my beautiful girlfriend, eventual wife, probably. But
they're gonna be broken up by the time this podcast comes out, so
that would be kind of cool.
I'm
just kidding. I'm kidding.
Shout out Bailey, she's a good girl.
She's cool. She's the only person keeping me alive, probably.
I was rare naked chokes.
Off the rare naked chokes. But dude, so I taught her how to rear naked choke, because I was like, my dad was like, when he was training, he's like, if you want to learn some shit, you gotta learn how to get choked out. So like I was like, I taught her how to do it, and then she got me in one time, and I just fucking muscle my way out. But while I was doing it, like I like must have like inhaled some spit or something, because I was like, I started coughing just randomly, like while she was like also choking me, and then I fucking passed out because like I was exhaling instead of bringing in oxygen when I already had an oxygen deprivation in my brain or whatever. And then so I fucking passed the fuck out and like went limp, and when I was coming to, like I was like, I was like, what the fuck is happening? Did I accidentally take drugs? Am I high? I was like, this is kind of tight. Like I felt lit. I was like, and then like I came back to, and I was like,
have you ever done the thing?
And I was like, what was that? And Bailey's like, wait, that was real?
So I'm talking about passing out. Have you done the thing where you like squat down into sumo position?
Oh, and you like,
and you like you take like
a
deep breath for 30 seconds, and then you stand up really fast, and so you blow on your thumb, and then you like, I've had so many videos of me just doing that, like,
and fucking
and
just
you just literally
zoot it out,
pass the fuck out.
Ooh,
that's can't be good for my brain. But
I mean, it's just a whip it. It's just a shitty whip it.
I mean,
well, actually, a better whip it. Probably you're not.
No, dude. Okay.
I mean, you're not inhaling anything.
That's fair, but I mean,
oh, dude, the one time I thought I was dying doing acid at the fucking at the reserves. When I came back to, like, everyone was, all I saw was shit tons of cartridges of whippets, and everyone was passed out. I was just like, what the fuck is, I was like, am I in purgatory? Because I was off 6 tabs.
Fuck no.
So I was like, I'm dying. I was in a loop of like walking from the bathroom, walking through the other back room that used to be yours, and then walking into Steven's room that at the time I was sleeping on the bed.
You were sleeping on the bed in my room the whole time.
Did that end up being Steven's room?
Steven's room was the first room. Okay, never mind. You're right.
Oh wait, no,
Steven's
I
room
was
ended
thinking
up
of
being-
I was
me
thinking
and
of
him
Chris's
traded-
room. We were
traded rooms at one point. So Steven's room was in the back hallway, and then Chris's room was right next to Steven's room. But in the original plan, it was Steven and Raven, then me in the very back room. But then when Chris moved in, things switched up.
It's so crazy how Chris became part of the group that it was literally like he's gonna live here.
Dude, and it wasn't even like a planned thing. Like me, Steven, Raven, all going out of high school. We're like, yo, we're close homies. Like we're gonna do this. And then Chris moved into the apartment, and it wasn't.
See, the reserves was so fucked up because you literally could just rent the room.
Yeah, and that's what it was. And at the time being like, he had asked us he did nothing wrong in the point that he was like, hey, do you guys mind if I live here? Because at the time he was going through a breakup, whatever the fuck. Like he moved in and he asked us like, do you guys mind? And the management even asked us, was like, do you guys mind? I think Steven had the contact with him at the time, and Steven was like, yeah, I don't mind at all. Like, and and then he got in there, and then it was kind of a bigger conflict because we had different living styles. Like we kind of, not that me, Steven, and Raven all got along living together, but we kind of understood each other to a certain point, and we were kind of understanding each other as we went. And then Chris moved in, and it was like, okay, well, now we have this other guy living here that we're still trying to learn how to live with each other, and then we have this other fourth guy who we just met. And so it kind of gave us someone to not like at the time. You know what I mean?
See, yeah, I remember the whole thing was like, he's living here. And then we would go to like party there, and it would just be one of the other dudes, and it was like, wait, so do you like him, or is he like? Do you just have to accept the fact that was he the Josh of the group for a little bit?
I never knew anything about the Josh of the group.
Like how Josh was kind of at the Hippo House was just kind of like, he lives here, but like,
yeah, I feel like
he's at the party, I guess.
I can see how that was kind of what it was. I've heard worse things about Josh than I've heard about Chris, so I can't compare it to that. But at the time, like, it was just like, oh, like, I don't fuck with this guy. Like, this guy's just living here now. Like, yo, he's fucking like leaving shit everywhere. Like, what? Like, just another dude leaving shit everywhere. And of course, you gotta expect that when you move in with a bunch of guys, but just someone else adding on top of it is kind of just like, okay, this is pulling me over the line. You know what I mean? But
we love you, Chris. We love you so much.
No, but really, like, what I'm so happy about is that he did end up moving in, like, and we did become such close friends. Like, he's a guy that literally I'll go hang out with him one-on-one now. I'll hit him up like, dude, like, let's fucking hang out,
right?
Because you are that guy, and it was just something that was forced into my life, but I feel like it was forced into my life for a reason, kind of thing, you know what I mean? And so I'm happy,
even though nothing happens for a reason.
Yeah, nothing happens and everything happens for a reason. You're just there to observe, dude.
Exactly. Everything is what you make it.
Yeah, everything you're gonna see through it. You're gonna see everything through a veil, and not to get too much into this shit, but everything you perceive is through your own eyes, and someone else can perceive it so opposite of you that their reality is so different from your reality. But you got to realize that it's shifted from what reality actually is, and you just got to realize, like, let me just throw my whole ego out.
Exactly. Kind of, because perception is reality, but your perception is not reality.
Exactly. Yeah, everything's experienced through you, but everything is not
your experience.
Yeah.
And on that note, it's been another beautiful episode of Around the Corner. I'm your host, Ethan Doors, at your mom's favorite son. This is
Z-Dad here.
Z-Daddy. We're at Around the Corner on everything. Sorry there is no person here. I think this is actually probably better anyway.
Yeah, we'll see what gets left in.
Yeah.
Ethan was shouting the N-word the whole time.
Anyway, we love you guys. We're out.
I was sick.
No, was it?
I'm believing everything. I'm just gonna.
I just want to know.
Just like you guys, you cancel.
I just can't
like
wait to
that
see
a
what's
lot.
left in.
So Ethan was showing the N-word on his phone.